Hello survivors, I'm the SurvivalVis, and I'd like to welcome you to Jurassic Park Revolution, a mod for Carnivores. I think it's Ice Age, it's using the Ice Age engine, to basically bring a lot of Jurassic Park's more, not exactly mainline, but sideline dinosaurs to the series in a way to hunt and experience. But this episode is going to be a little different because it's going to be almost a bit of a first steps review, because I've actually tried doing this video 4 times now. 4 times I've tried to get a good video out for this to give it a proper and fair review, but the 3rd time it wasn't quite as fair as it should have been, so think of this as a redo of one episode you're not going to see. In options though, one big thing, sensitivity I had to crank all the way down. I was not really able to play this at all with sensitivity where it starts neutrally. I may even just bump that up to there, and maybe I'll even try changing the measurements to see if that changes anything in playing. But yeah, I tried playing it, and I had quite a few issues, so I want to go over those with you guys and kind of talk about what I think some minor improvements that could help for the mod and also anybody who's thinking about the game series and how it kind of operates and runs in a way. So let me open up the hunt window here, and I'll kind of get off to talk a bit. Blech. Get a little nervous trying to do this video, because it is going to be a bit of a critique video, so I don't want to come off as it being too negative, but I do have to also be honest with what I've come across. So we'll start with Isla Penne. As you can see, all of them are mostly tied to the Jurassic Park series and franchise. Species, we got some really unique ones: the Tyrannosaurus, the Styracosaurus, Kentrosaurus, Torosaurus, Albertosaurus, Edmontosaurus, Allosaurus, Camarasaurus, Acrocanthosaurus, and we even have a bonus one. I'm not sure what the bonus one really is. Alright, it looks like a theropod of some kind. Maybe it's something like a Carnodontosaurus, but anyway. One thing I am going to kind of get off on early is it's going to be really different compared to how you've hunted anything else in the Carnivore series. Like, I'll take these 3 guns to start with to kind of show those off a bit, and maybe we'll take camouflage and cover scent just so I don't die too quickly. And maybe, yeah, we'll take radar, just because this is something more to kind of talk to you guys about. So with that, let me just click hunt, and we'll go right in. And let me just make sure. Okay, we got one thing to our west here, so we'll probably go that way, just so I can give a good kind of view of things. But points I got to start on is the maps look incredible and very well done. I admit okay, it's just an Tyrannosaurus, so that's not too bad. But I'll admit, the looks are fantastic and superb. All of the dinosaurs, I have had some minor issues where the textures are coming in as this kind of rainbow glitchy thing, but it's rather infrequent. But where I want to kind of get into some of the things that I'm going to have more neutral and negative views on are going to be the weapons. Like, the iron sights are not done properly, and you can kind of see where it's a little misaligned actually right on the pistol. Because I can't really show... Okay, another issue. You have the dinosaurs far too sensitive. Like, I only had, what, I think the Tyrannosaurus in the radar when we started, and I was walking towards it on its own, and the Kentrosaurus immediately knew where we were. The sensitivity in that is terrible right now. So that's something I do think needs to be looked into. I don't know if I need to increase it. I'm kind of afraid to try it this way, but we'll see what that causes. But yeah, the iron sights for the weapons need some proper work. We'll try this again, and hope I don't die in this explanation. Okay, good. We should have a lot of room here. So as you can see on the pistol, you have the sort of... I'm trying to think of what axis that would be. Like, think of up and down as your Y, left and right as your X for this. So you have your Y axis for your crosshairs completely set. Your Y, though, would be kind of how you have that little dip in the pistol, those should be raised up. So that way, that's kind of your level of, okay, this is the flat bar of my sight, and then the little tip is sort of the up and down to make that plus sign. All the weapons suffer from this. This one especially, because you don't have anything to line up what your height is. I have a problem with iron sights in that, unless you actually have something kind of as a height indicator, you don't really know what part of the iron sight you need to use. Is it just right above the very tip? Is it the tip itself? Is it a little below the tip? There, all of the weapons have that issue. Even the shotgun's another one. You have the tip that points up like the little pyramid, and let me just raise it up, and then you have this flat quite a bit down below it. So where is your vertical in a way? Carnivores 2, I think, shows off that pretty well in how those are properly aligned, give you that sense of a crosshair in your center sight. Another issue, and I really don't want to have to do it this way, but the weapons also don't seem to pack enough power and have some issues on their firing. Like, sorry little guy. One shot was able to take down the Homalocephali, but for a Dryosaur, we'll have to just catch up to him and try. Might take a little while, but we're going to go up to one of those and try as well. Either the animals have too much health to them, or it might even actually be a case of because you don't really get that good sense of where the crosshair in essence is, you're not aiming for vital spots. Because it honestly does seem like the animals do have certain vital spots to them. And another thing too is also the weapon spread. I found the weapon spreads, the shots are way too spread out for the distance you use them with. Like, there is this little waving of the hands. I'd probably recommend that more in a game where you can actually hold your breath to shoot. A game where you don't have that feature, that's, I think, more of a detriment than it is a nice addition. Because as much as you want to have a consequence in, you also want to have a way of being able to skillfully counteract it. A way to interact with it and engage in, so that way you can actually kind of minimize what's against you. Having it so that way it waves around as it does is not a good thing to be trying to work against. I think the Dryosaur's somewhere around here. Actually, I'm going towards everything. I don't know if I want to do that. Well, we'll go around here and see, just to be careful, but there's... I'll try taking a shot against the Dryosaur with the pistol and see. My thinking is, the first starter animal, you should be able to take down within... Well, I never recommend hunting with a pistol, but I would say 2 shots from a pistol, or 1 shot from the rifle. In this game, it is more... Where do those dinosaurs even get off to? I don't want to take down another you guys, because you are actually one of my favorite little dinosaurs. I'd love to see more... Is that ambience, or is there... That sounded like a call from something really close... Well, maybe not really close by, but within our area. But yeah, I found the pistol. It can't take down a Dryosaur in a single shot, and even the Uranosaurus and the Strachosaurus take 2 or 3 shots from this rifle here. And the problem with this is you only have, 5 shots to start with. So you can basically only take down a single animal at a time. And when you're trying to get a person started into the game, you want to try to have them be able to have as much time out and about as they need to kind of get equipped a bit better and familiar with how things operate. Oh, there's a Dryosaur, so we'll try going up to you and take a shot. And see if you go down. Actually, this might be a good enough distance. Yeah, see, look at that spread. That distance, you should not be having a spread of that far. I don't know if it's something because of how the game calculates distance, because I've found that always seems to exaggerate how far away something is quite a bit. But the weapon spread seems to be way too far out there, and I don't know if it's actually because of the spread of the weapon itself, or it's something with how they've included that wavering feature. Actually, I don't even think that one's on the radar. Yeah, for some reason, some of them don't appear on the radar, although there's the... I think it's Albertosaurus, maybe? Or maybe the Allosaurus. But that's the big thing I've found, is the dinosaurs either have too much health, or their resilience, or the weapons don't deal enough damage. Because they seem to have so much health. And it seems to take so many shots. It could be that, I don't know if the Ice Age engine actually does use something like weak spots or vitals, so you want to aim for that. In the call images, it actually looks like they do, because on the Tyrannosaurus in the top right, you can kind of see there's the red for the head and the underbelly there. But if your weapon has too much spread, and you can't really get a good, consistent shot, then you're not really going to be able to hit that at all. Let's see if I can try calling one of these in. That's something... But it's mostly the more finer details that I've found have been things that have caused me issue. I still have to also figure out exactly how the detection sort of works in the game. Because it sometimes seems like... I don't know how they hear you. Like, if it actually has different terrains you're walking on, make more noise or less noise. If you're going through or around bush, it'll be something. And honestly, that one... To say that is 500 feet away, I don't know if that's really right. Yeah, that's a problem. I have camouflage and the scent on. I knew the high sensitivity would make them more wary, but that's kind of what I was running into with even on neutral difficulty, or neutral sensitivity, was that they would pick you up from ridiculously far away, it seemed. And there was stuff that you couldn't even really do to curb that. And with your... I suppose the rifle isn't too bad with it, but again, you don't really have that other sight line in order to know the verticality of up and down, of what height you need to sort of set it at. I feel like it's more that side that just needs tweaking, and everything else is rather okay. Sensitivity-wise for the animals, I think that's something just because I don't have the in-depth knowledge of playing Carnivores too greatly, that I still have to try to figure out and sort and learn. But it feels like trying to start into Jurassic Park Revolution has been the hardest one to actually try and go through. Carnivores Triassic was another one where I had a few difficulties with it, but I didn't change the sensitivity. Because I'm actually not even sure what the sensitivity affects. Is it actually the dinosaur's ability to perceive where you are in sort of like a difficulty slide? Or is it something different? I don't really know because you don't get an explanation, and it feels really weird to have a way to change how sensitive the animals are in a hunting game. I think modern games have kind of taken away from that. I'm just going to try getting a shot on this Dryosaur. Yeah, like, that I think that should have been hits. At least one of those should have hit him. So that's my problems with the game, sort of as is. It's right at the end, but I think the weapons need some more iron sight tweaking, get those properly aligned. Actually, let me log out and show you one of the worst ones, I think, for it. Because these are bad, but one weapon really exemplifies how poorly off it needs something done to it. And that is this one. You just have a big circle. There's no up or down, no left or right. You just have this circle-ish, and let me see if I can even get close to a Dryosaur. Just try to take a shot. Yeah. A huge spread when you want more fine-tune. My advice for this would probably be to... You actually have something already sort of in place with how those kind of little rust marks are on the left and the right sides. What you need now is a little bit of just a point going up. So that way you can kind of tell this is your X and where your... This is your Yeah, this is where your X little center is, and you already have the Y set out. So aim for that, in a way. The weapons need just those little minor details that make you feel a little proper and you know where you're actually aiming. The damage, again, I think is something that could be a little tweaked. Let me head into the main screen again to pull that up. So right here, you see how you have this kind of firepower being in the middle-ish and shot precision and that. My recommendation, get those to a bar, so that we could say this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, this is a 4. I think doing something a little more uniform like that will help you figure out balancing the weapons a lot better. Because right now, it does feel like there's something not quite right. Whether it's the sensitivity in the settings being, well, actually, not super high, but whether it's the sensitivity in the settings or the kind of tweaking and code behind the weapons for how much they do, I feel it's off. I think I would like a little more confirmation on whether these actually are proper hit zones or not, or it's just kind of like a thermal camera reading. Honestly, can't really tell. In some ways, I want to say they are vitals, but in others, I really don't know for certain. So my advice would probably be tweaking these a little bit to have them be more of a concrete, you know, this has 1 firepower, this has 2, this has 3, etc. like that, to kind of give a bit more of a concise what you're getting for each weapon. And go through and properly put in some iron sights. Something that does give you that vertical and horizontal, so that way you can almost see the kind of impose a crosshair of sorts. Other than that, though, the mod does look fantastic, and I want to be excited to play more, but I've also just found it frustrating to try playing. So I'll see what the feedback is on this little review episode of sorts, and if you guys do want to see me try and learn, I will hop in and do some more hunts. But for now, I just want to give an overview, and I would recommend taking a look at Jurassic Park Revolution, but also to understand that it may be frustrating to start. It feels like this is one of the ones where you smack hard into a wall. Jurassic, I found that too, because the starter weapons were not exactly ideal for hunting. My advice, if you are going to make a mod, never have a pistol as your main starting weapon. Make it something more like a rifle. Like Dinosaur Hunter Reborn was good, because it gave you that simple rifle to start with. A pistol is more of a sidearm if you're starting to get charged by something, and you need that short-range stopping power. Use one of those for a few heavy shots right out. That's just my ideas, so thank you guys for joining me on this little review, well, little preview review of Jurassic Park Revolution. I do have to give props, the mod designer, artist, author, I think they basically did everything for it. Fantastic job on all the looks, like the menus, everything looks superb. It's just a little bit of tweaking in the code, but I feel like every game has that they need to kind of go through. Game, mod, you name it. There's always going to be a little bit of tweaking and number crunching to get just right to get that perfect feel across. But if you do like it and you want to see more, be sure to leave me a like or a comment to let me know. Feedback is deeply appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video. Please remember, as always, survivors, take care and stay alive.